Hi, my name is Siddharth Varde and this is Unity Advanced Mat2 Answer5. So the first question is, what is object pooling? Right. So object pooling is an optimization pattern. Right. So what we do in object pooling is, instead of creating a new object and deleting the unused object, like we enable and disable those objects. So let's say, like, I'm pretty sure that all I need is like 5 enemies in my scene at a time. So then there are 5 enemies in my scene and I am fighting them, but like, let's say I killed one. So instead of deleting that object, I am disabling that object, and whenever I need that enemy again, I will enable it, reposition it, and like reset it, and it will come to the then like it will fight with the player again. So by that, I can in that way, like, I can use an object pooling so to optimize my game. And as I said, like, what is object pooling? So like, it is, instead of creating a new object every time whenever we need it, we reuse the old object. So that is an optimization technique called as an object pooling. The second question is, how does object pooling help in optimization? So the very first thing to notice in object pooling is, like, we are not creating a new enemy every time. So we are 100% sure that there are only 5 enemies in our scene at a time. So there will not be a 6th enemy, and like, all we need to do is like create 5 enemies at once, and after that we are reusing them. So, and we are not deleting them, so we are not relying on garbage collector to collect the memory. So garbage collector will take less time, at least less. Okay, then like, another, we are not occupying the memory at the runtime. That is another point. And like, since we are resetting and reusing that, so like, in that way it helps us to optimize our game. And like, let's say, it's not about just one object, and it is happening for thousands of objects at a time. So like, at that time, it can help a lot, right? And another thing is, like, when that object is disabled, there is no draw call, and none of the scripts are working on that object. So like, it's there is no harm in using object pooling in that way, right? So it has its downsides, but we are not talking about that right now. So how does it help in optimization? So like, we are relying very less on garbage collection. We are not using methods like instantiate again and again. We are not allocating the memory, and we are not deleting the objects. So like, these are the things that like, in this ways, by using object pooling, we are optimizing our game. Thank you, I guess.